Alright guys, welcome back. It's Dev the Vlogger here. That's DEVTHEVLOGR on Snap, Insta, and of course Twitter. Now, the last time we left off, we were talking to Hampton, I believe, but I kind of moved around a little bit, so we're on like the main floor area. So that's just for a catch up for people that are getting confused. Let's jump into it and let's go.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Oh, this isn't the right
Thank you for
dude.
your time. We'll talk later.
We've already spoken before, good sir. Where's the other guy?
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
It'll be this guy.
Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Okay.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Alright, I got an investigation. Tell me
Please
about
could you
yourself.
tell me something about yourself.
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed.
Okay.
I run
We
my
get
own
it, bro.
experiments,
Calm
I'm
down.
convinced it's the future.
Hakuna Yurtadas. Okay, let's see.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and
Okay.
methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
I'll give you some advice, but understand that nothing beats practical experience, which can be exhausting and solitary work.
Of course, sir. And don't worry, I will never allow myself to be a burden, neither to you nor this hospital.
Alright, I kind of messed up with that one. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see what...
I'm not a...
I'll give you...
Of course.
Yep, I fucked up with that one. And let's go back. And personal questions. I have this and this and this. Alright. So this isn't important yet.
Goodbye, Dr.
I'm
Strickland.
going to save those in the bank for later. But I messed up those. But that's essentially what I was trying to do. Get to the point of where I would be able later on to take these people and to embrace them. Most likely that would probably be able to help me figure out things about the disease itself, being a vampire, but also it probably would be able to help me kill the district. I don't think I was recording last time, so that's probably why you guys are wondering, like, why is this one further from the last marker? Well, I went to the marker and I found out essentially that there were notes of the dudes that I was fighting like way before in like kind of the tutorial that were saying that Thelma was a vampire, but I think it's because she suffers from that disease of where she's in delusion of where she believes that she's a vampire and stuff like that. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. It's honestly right now way too early to tell, but we're gonna see, man, as the story unfolds. And I went all the way to this like other area, and dude, they demolished me. Like there's like this level 18 vampire, the guys that I was fighting, like the brute. He's like level 12. He just killed me. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Give me a sec. Alright guys, nope, there is nothing there. Unfortunately, I missed out on like 30 minutes of footage, but essentially all I did was go to the other marker, see where she was, locate her, kill 2 people, find out that people were like doing research on her, the people from, like, I guess the regular people from the tutorial beforehand, and find out that there were like a couple of notes on her, and it just said just do research and find out like if she is or isn't, and she's in the Pembroke. So that's about it. Okay.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
Let go.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier.
Pretty creepy way you're caressing that skull there, brother.
Boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death.
Like slicked back hair.
You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
Alright,
Also
let's
new to
go.
you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
I'm a dead man. I was murdered. Now I'm a murderer. Tell me how this is a gift.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
Okay.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan.
That was probably bipolar
Something
of
that will
me.
require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accept. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
That's kind of messed up that her name even sounds impossibly delicate.
You need
I'm gonna have to start using that. I have questions.
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
Alright.
You
Boom.
mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
That doesn't interest me. That does.
explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Okay, well, I mean... do I want to... Sure.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
Alright, about my condition.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings, and the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
I already know the answers to these questions, so they don't really help me. What about, let's see, about the hospital, William Bishop? That
the man we pursued and slew in the
seems
candy
more
factory.
prudent.
William Bishop, I believe.
Look at me. Prudent.
He was a Skrull, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skrull?
A Skrull is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
How do Skrulls come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
I wonder if I'll be able to use them later on, like through mesmerization, or to mesmerize them.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Okay.
Where do we stand today?
But to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
Since you seem quite...
As men of...
I'm gonna skip that.
Must I take a life?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
Okay. And I really don't want to ask these questions because it's like I already know the answers. And I might as well just leave. Yeah. I know the answers to those, so that's just... Alright, let's see. Let's see what's in here. Any collectibles? Rare species of vampire as a scholar, and... Exegete? Maybe? Of ancestral writings, I would never insist enough about the importance of taking legends and ancient folklores, into account when searching for hints about hidden or lost secrets. A common mistake is to take what we know for an established truth and use it to discard any contradictory material. It seems like a lot. For example, I saw something. Alright, there it is. We must consider the possibility of undiscovered species of vampires and the necessities to rethink what we see as the established truth about the various types of immortals, based on what we know and what we gathered through time. Alright, let's see. I tell you, my brothers, we never can be too sure of what we could find. If we only could forget a few minutes about what we're supposed to already know. From Unveiling the Night by Usher Taltry. Primate of St. Paul. Okay, so there's a lot of humility in the secret society as far as what they believe to be humility, and questioning different types. I guess it's questioning the different types of species as far as existence, but I'm not gonna go into that. This is what I'm more interested in, as well as this, like, listing the species, and the only thing that he told me about was like the scowls. So oh man, I feel like this is gonna be like a Skyrim thing, man. This is gonna be a long game. Alright, let's see. Dr. Swansea. Temporary morgue is... Wait, who is this? A former doctor. Okay. I wonder if I killed him. Concerning... Okay. I'm gonna have to look that up. Alright, cool. We got a hint. And talk to the hospital benefactor. Alright. After this, I'm gonna rest up. I'm gonna try to go and find more scouts to kill if I can, or at least try to get somebody to follow me, mesmerize them, and then take their blood. Blood. But I highly doubt I'll be able to do that, at least right now. I think right now it's just kind of like figuring out what's up, where I am, etc. Excuse me. Sweet codeine. Hey! This is the benefactor. Oh wait, no, she isn't. That's the benefactor. You are interesting, though.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Your son doesn't want to
How
talk
can I
to
help
me,
your son?
baby.
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Have you heard rumors of blackmail going on in this hospital?
Dr. Reed, are you trying to take advantage of me?
Of course not, Mrs. Goswick. I'm just curious.
Well, go be curious somewhere else, please.
Alright, that didn't work.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
She might be the person that I want to kill.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Okay, I'm close to this hint. Let's... Oh, wow. So I should have selected it. Alright, well.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude.
Ah.
And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Alright. Alright, let me talk to your son real quick. No, I don't want to talk to...
How is my son doing?
I don't know, he right there. Stop asking me questions. The frick?
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Have you heard rumors about blackmail in this hospital?
No?
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured, you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
Alright, well...
I'll let you get some rest, then.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Alright, so that kind of went somewhere, but not really much. Not talking to you. Oh, wait, let me get that syringe. Boom. An unfinished letter. I'm not going to read it. I ain't got the time, baby. And let's go and talk to you. Yeah, boy. Oh, I'm sorry, your girl.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
It seems I'm the butt of a joke, or pigeon of a con. Dr. Swansea might have told me who I was going to meet.
I know you're a man of action, Doctor, but take a moment to contemplate the terrain. In this war, discretion is both weapon and shield.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
No. Patients giving you trouble. That might...
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
That's what I thought. Hold on, what I'm about to do is...
You make me...
Yep, thought so.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
So I think, just to pause really quickly, I think I kind of messed up. And the reason why I think I messed up is essentially because of what she was saying. It was like subtext. She meant that she actually transforms these people. That's what I'm thinking. Like, she might have transformed these people into vampires. So it's very difficult. I wanted to say that I believed her, but why else would she be talking to the doctor? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, I feel like she might be that type of chick. However, he did describe her as, what did he say? Impossibly something. Impossibly whatever. Like she can't help herself or something like that. Like, oh man, I forgot what it was, and it was something I'm gonna have to use. I'm gonna have to look at the videos again. But anyway, I don't know. Alright, let's see.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
Excuse my impertinence, your ladyship. This is not an interrogation. I assure you that this line of questioning is in your best interest.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Okay. Alright. This is definitely getting interesting. Oh, okay.
Damn. The pain. Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect. What? What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse, or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts lit a poor sod's vein.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round. Miss Jones, greetings. How do we feel?
Again? Waking a poor old woman in her sleep? There isn't a poor life needs saving somewhere?
Now, I need to ask you a few simple questions.
Well, if you really must.
If you could just tell me why you were admitted.
It's terrible, Doctor. What with a pain in my chest, coughing up blood, and I get awfully tired. Wouldn't be so bad if I hadn't lost my house and all.
I see.
No one comes to visit, you know. Not even my own flesh and blood.
Have you noticed any suspicious comings or goings?
It would be a great deal easier to make a list of things unsuspicious in this house of charlatans.
Come now, Miss Jones. Surely it's not that bad.
Have you no eyes? This hospital accepts all manner of souls, regardless of origin. The proper sick cannot heal. We're kept sickened by the refugees.
Everyone here is very capable. I have not seen any instances of unprofessionalism.
Thieves and murderers, the lot. People have gone missing here, you know. Poof, without a trace.
I'll come and visit you shortly. Good night, Miss Jones.
So there's a fine nurse, Pippo Hawkins,
Patients and staff
Dorothy
might
Crane,
be
and
I'll start
Nurse
my investigation with
Gwyneth
them.
Brannigan. Alright. Pippa Hawkins, who are you? I know
Good
that's
evening,
not one of the
Good
people on
evening,
the
Doctor.
list, but I
don't
gotta
think we've been introduced yet.
talk to
My name is
everybody.
Pippa Hawkins.
Oh, it's Pippa!
Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Alright. Personal questions, your life in London. Alright, let's go back to your life in London.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
I don't like your attitude, Nurse Hawkins. Pessimism can be as lethal as the epidemic in times like these.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Okay. Have I already accessed? I did. I already said that. If I say get a grip, what will happen?
Get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted.
She's exhausted.
No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Okay. Alright, let's go back and deal with life in London. I still need the hint, so...
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
Okay.
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
Okay.
How long? I don't like...
Alright, because that shows a pessimism one, it's going to be harder to get her. But, that's alright. Let's see. Nurse Gwyneth, where is she? Gwyneth. It says 35. 31. Okay, so this one's 56. Alright. Is this Gwyneth? Gwyneth?
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening.
I'll be back for it.
Call me if you need assistance.
Oh crap, no, this is the girl. This is the one. Okay, let's do personal questions. Tippets praise you, no. Your life in London, back. Let's start there.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Okay.
Do you know if any of the
Wait, sorry, I picked the wrong one. Alright, let's try... Nah, I'm gonna wait. Yeah.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Okay.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse.
All right.
If you need assistance.
Alright, now this one, she is all the way over here. And I don't know what this is. Merchant. Alright, cool. So, will I have to leave the hospital to get closer to her? Yeah, it looks like it.
Someone's poached my blanket.
Whoops. Find Dorothy in the area. Found her.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals. Or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Alright, so do I have like an option to follow him or the other one? Okay, so I have to follow him. And what about, yep, she gone.
He's locked the door behind him. I need to find another way to follow him. This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
What? Dang it. Got me. Is this him? Nah. Sewer beast. Oh crap!
What sort of creature is this?
What? I pressed circle. Yes. I pressed circle. All right. Oh crap. This guy was gonna get me. Ah, no, he got me. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go back down here.
What sort of creature is this?
What? Only 2 hits? Wow. Wow, okay. Wait, what is this? I wish I would have noticed that beforehand. Hold on, is there... Maybe... Let's see. Here we go. So I can use the revolver, use stake, absorption, stun. Okay. So I'm gonna have to use that one if I want. Okay. So this is level 2. It gets 58. This does 65. This does 72, 65, 99. So let's do that, and let's change this to this. And if I use details. Okay, and serums, I don't have any serums. Okay, and ultimates or something else. So, okay. Alright.
sort of creature is this?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to cut this as a cliffhanger. Sorry, we only have so much time in this video, but thank you for watching, and I definitely will catch you in the next one. Peace.